Welcome back to a very basic space program. In the last episode, we took a lot of things and burned them up in the atmosphere, but we also launched this thing, and this is it's going to the moon. So let's see if we can get it there and back. Please join me. Right, so here we are. We're in orbit, and I'm just playing around with some maneuver nodes at the moment. You find me just messing around. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to go retrograde or prograde around the moon. I'm going to go this way. You can see we have a lot of science going on actually while we're in orbit. We currently have. Let's just have a look. This craft is on perpetual charge because we've got the solar panels going, but we're actually carrying out a lot of data acquisition just around the Earth. So it might actually be worth us taking whatever this craft is with its science equipment and putting it up just to gather some data of the Earth system, because obviously there, for example, we're getting infrared radiometer 3 around the low shores and space low around the shores. We've got the shores there as well around the water for some of the other stuff. It might be worth us actually doing that. So we might knock one of these up just to put into a polar orbit around the Earth as well, just to gather some science, and we'll launch that on probably the dog rocket that we've been playing around with on and off, and that should give us enough to put that up. Anyway, we have ourselves in a position where we're ready to go for this. I think we should be okay to actually do this. So let us. Yeah, I think we're ready, are we? I think we should be okay. I hope we should be okay. So let's execute the node, get itself positioned correctly, and see what happens. Now, we have our first transfer stage here. It has an LR87 vacuum on it, which means that it's going to give us a big push. My only concern is, are we actually going to align ourselves in the right place? That's a good point. Is this going to rotate around? We've got 9 minutes for it to go, so we could just speed that up a bit, actually. Yeah, we have an engine there that has a lot of push on it, and the concern I have there is that it will probably overshoot or undershoot. It does have 2 ignitions. However, if it fails, we've already seen in the launch profile, this thing will not relight if we have a failure with it. So we want to keep that in mind. We do have a big chunk of delta V here, actually got about 800 meters per second for our capture and things like that here. It'll possibly start our landing, depending upon what's going on with it. And then we have our landing stage up here that should be able to land. And then we've got the final stage, which is full of delta V, and I'm hoping it should have enough for us to just understand delta V usage for actually this mission. Because one of the things about this mission is understanding just how much delta V we're going to have to spend on things. You can see this is rotating very, very slowly right now. We're gonna see if it gets there in time. So yeah, we're gonna let the auto MechJeb do the fire on this, and I shall see you when we're ready for the engines to light. Now we're still rotating round, and one of the things I find really interesting is actually looking at our liquid hydrogen sort of usage. You can see here, at the rate we're boiling off, we are actually losing a significant amount of liquid hydrogen as we go along. We did pack, I think, a little extra liquid hydrogen for this, but delta V isn't actually going down at the moment because we're using up the extra liquid hydrogen. At some point, we're going to hit a point where the liquid hydrogen that's boiling off is going to be a problem for us. But at the moment, we're still eating our reserves. Oh, there we go. So you can see we're just going to let it reposition itself. You can see this is very, very sensitive to anything it does. And of course, we could put radiators on this. We do have a little bit of, let's have a look. We have a little bit of protection, do we? Boil off loss. We're losing a reasonable amount. We've got some temperature walls and stuff there. I don't believe we've got any protection on this because I believe it is a balloon tank, so it's not got any lagging on the outside of that, just basic one. The probe that we came up with is now losing its electric charge, so that's nice for it. We are on the node. Let's have a look. Where is that probe? Is it nearby? Yeah, we're not going to run into it. That's good. That's always a positive. You can see those 3 engines, one of which were never fired, which is a little concerning. Okay, let's have a look how much in the way of delta. We've got a nice bit of RCS left in this, so what we can do is do some maneuvers using this stage if we need to just refine things. Here we go, we're going to go ready for it, and of course we've gone past the node burn point because stock and MechJeb disagree on things a little bit. There we go, we're now pushing. And this should go quite quickly. It should be a 2-minute burn in reality, but we will see. We're gonna speed you up a little bit for this. You know what? I quite like using MechJeb for this, because not because of the alignments and things like that, but literally just because it can stop it. Now, I could get, you know, better time warps and slow it down and do it perfectly myself, but in reality, I would have expected that, you know, you have a gauge on there that measures how much fuel's gone through, and as soon as that's gone, you can actually have it shut itself off, is what I would have imagined that they've done, and so I quite like that aspect. A little bit of burn there off the side of the thing. I didn't realise that would be there. Interesting. So we're now, what, third of the way through the burn. Well, actually, probably almost, we're approaching the halfway mark. We've got a nice extra chunk of delta V on this stage, and again, this is a stage we've used before elsewhere. We just basically abused it a little bit here by putting it on here and filling it up as much as we could to take full advantage of the payload we had to orbit. This thing equally could have finished off our launch to orbit for us as well, which is really nice. There is a thought process in my mind that we actually could launch a crewed mission on this craft, but I don't like the idea of launching that on that big 75 rocket. So we'll see. Well, maybe if we're going to send bigger crewed missions to the moon, that will be something we do, or we're going to maybe adapt something we've done before. I don't know. We'll have to see about it. Right, I'm going to slow this down when we get close to finishing. We've got about 20 seconds left on this burn, so we're going to drop it right down to normal speed now, and then we'll let MechJeb do its thing. I'm actually going to disable this engine once it gets to where it roughly wants to be, and then we'll have a look and see what it's doing. So there it goes, shuts off. We're going to turn that engine off so that MechJeb cannot fire that second burn, just in case. Let's have a look. We are actually not too bad. Oh, that is nice. You know what? I'm actually going to kill it. We're going to hold it where it is, and we're going to see if we can do let's have a look. See if we can do a manual move. There we go. Yeah. So if I just burn against in retrograde now, we're using the RCS to burn retrograde. We can just pull this down. Let's just check we are coming in. Yeah, we're coming in the right way. Oh, good. We're going to pull this down. We're going to come in nice and close to the moon. And of course, the good thing is we have our communication system, which is not looking as good as it did. You can see there, even after we put them within a quarter of a second of each other sort of time, it is a little bit funky. I don't know how high I want to put this. I think I want to be reasonably low. I think we're going to go for about, I want to go maybe 50 kilometers. 50 kilometers, that's about right. Right, RCS off, turn that off. There we go. Now, I have just realized something. I really wanted to disconnect this or detach this before we actually finish this process. I think we're going to carry it because, let's have a look. We're on perpetual power, so we can actually run this. What we could do, can we turn this off? Is this avionics shutdownable? It is. Wonderful. So we're going to leave that on. And we're going to send this thing off now. So we've gone down from 33 tons to 5 tons controllable. So, you know, that is still a big, heavy mass there. I'm concerned that we do not have avionics for this stage, actually thinking about it. I really hope we have the avionics control for that. Do we have avionics up here maybe that we can turn on? That would be problematic, wouldn't it? Let's have a think. Is that avionics? Yeah, that's avionics for 25 tons. Okay, so that one is important. We're going to need that avionics when we get to the side. Right. We don't know, however, need that engine anymore. So let's get this thing out there and see what's going on. Well, that's interesting. We did a little speed up that we do where we moved to the second point there, and then we accelerated, and yeah, the pair-apps moved, obviously. That's wonderful. So we're going to have to use a little bit of RCS just to do something about that. What we will actually do is probably do a little radial outburn once we get in here, and that actually makes us having that extra unit on the back sort of worth it then. The liquid hydrogen's got a year left on it. How much delta V has it actually got? I suppose we have another ignition on it actually, don't we? Potentially we could fire that up and give ourselves a little bit of a boost. That's an interesting thought. I hadn't even thought about that. We'll have to have a look. We'd have to activate the engine though. Let's activate it. Let's activate it and see. How much does that give us? Okay. So potentially we've got about 600 meters per second. So we might not need this stage here. Ironically, we could have actually done it with this if we'd have reduced boil off. Right. let's keep going. Let's get into the sphere of influence. Let's go to about here. Let's warp to there. There we go. We're going to jump across the boundary, and then we're going to see if this plops around anywhere. I'm not happy about the fact that we have this change here. Oh, hello, what's that? Unknown object. It's last seen ages ago. Right. Are we in the sphere of influence yet? Is it slowed down? It is slowing down as it goes across it, I think. Yeah, because of course we have to. And then we're going to jump back into this speed here. And then I want to warp to there in 2 hours. There we go. Bring us across the boundary. There we are. Right. Now, this is the fun bit. We're going to turn on some avionics that we turned off before. So we're going to turn you on. That's good. We have enough power in this. We've actually overdone the power available, but there is a reason for that. Right. So let's go to a radial out. I think I want to go radial out. There we go. Turn the RSS on, and should spin us round to radial out. And then we can just do a bit of burning and figure this out. In fact, it could have just done it to radial in actually, and just done the other way because radial in is there, which is annoying. Let's see. Is that going to do it for us? We could just do that burn. In fact, the act of turning the craft is actually doing this. So because we've got offset and mass, we have actually got this doing this for us. Brilliant. All right. Let's have a look. Is that going to work now? Is that going to be better? Come on, let's have a look. Let's fire a little bit of RCS, just see if we can pull this up. We're currently about 10 kilometers below the surface when we come into our periaps, which is not a good thing because it will result in us having, shall we say, a rapid unplanned disassembly. There we go. We now technically got one there, but you can see that the moon is actually below that. The surface is below that. Of course, on planets that don't have water, we tend to make 0B the lowest point on the planet. So for the moon, it would be the bottom of the lowest crater. We're going to take this up to 25, something, 25 kilometers. 25 seems a little low, but maybe we'll do that. There we go. Let's do that one there. There we are. Right. I'm quite happy with 30, I think. That's very, very close to the surface, though. Yeah, I think I'm happy with 30. Right. So I'm going to turn that off. We're going to turn off the control. There we go. And now we're going to just have a look around and go, you know what? I think I'm going to plot this maneuver while I'm here. What's going on? Why have I not got the ability to do that? I wonder why. Let's do this here. Add maneuver. I tell you what, we're doing things with MechJeb today. So let's try and do the way our maneuver planner. Where is it? Maneuver planner. There we go. Get rid of that maneuver node. Maneuver planner. How are you? I'd really like it if you circularize me at the next apoapsis. What I want to circularize at that point. Oh, it's not the apoapsis, it's the periapsis. Wow, that was a junior mistake, wasn't it? Right, there we go. That's lovely. I like that. So we'll just do that. That's perfect, and that should give us a nice little thing. Right, there we go. So, do you want to execute that node for me? Yeah, let's execute that node. Turn the RCS on. Actually, you know what? Abort that node. We're going to accelerate time a little bit first. We're going to wait until we get to about here. Warp to there. Because if we do it all the way out there, we're going to change our periapsis again. And that's going to be problematic. We've got loads of science coming in. Lots of points added. Right, here we are. Right, we're going to execute the node there. And you can see it's still having an impact on all of our stuff because we've got that offset center of mass. But it will come back to us when it moves back onto the system. So we have enough battery power on this system for a while. We've got enough for a bit of burnage. I'm actually going to activate this as well. Right, because we should capture, but we won't capture tightly, and that's not a problem for us. I want to actually rethink what we're doing with this once we get there, because the plan was not to use this, I don't think, to capture. I hate to say this, it is actually a while since I planned this mission. It's actually about 4 months since I planned this craft. We've been waiting 4 months for me to record this episode because, of course, it's one episode a week. Sometimes you get the bonus episodes, but one episode a week. And this one was planned a long time ago. It's been in the build queue since, I think, probably before or at the same time as we started putting up Dawn Station. I started building the craft for this and everything before we had the tech. And I was just sitting waiting for us to get some of the tech to finalize it. What is this? Why have we got 8 and 7 here? What's going on here? What is this? What is this going on? Is this to do with one burn will take us to here, the next burn will take us the rest of the way? That'd be quite interesting. It should actually auto stage thinking about it. So that will be interesting as well. It will realize it doesn't have the ability to do something and should auto stage, which would be cool. What I do need to do though, while I'm thinking, because of course I have to think. Oh, I've just got rid of it, haven't I? We need to do this. We need to turn on the procedural avionics up here, because when we decouple, there's going to be a problem. Right, we are now going towards the destination. We're about 30 kilometers up. So we'll see how this goes. We're going to get sunlight. There we are. There's the moon. We're going to go nice and low over the moon. I'm going to do this. Now we could go for a direct descent here. We could have gone straight at the moon and just gone direct descent and gone for it, but I want to try and do this because we want to try and mimic what we're likely to do with crew. We're not going to bring crew on a direct descent straight in, straight from Earth sort of arrival to a landing. I think that's a bit too dangerous in case an engine doesn't work. So we're going to do this. Let's see, how much are we going to get out of this engine? That's interesting, isn't it? The more we get out of this, the more I can use this for the landing cycles and things like that. Or saying that, I think this engine up here actually has a better thrust to weight. I don't know what that engine is actually. What are we? Oh, are we going to have a decouple? We're going to have a decoupling moment. Are we going to have a decoupling moment? I'd really like it if we did. Tell you what. There we go. That's easier, isn't it? There we go. That's going to be fine for us. Right. What are you actually? I need to remember. You're the lunar module descent engine. Ah, that's right. We are actually using an actual lunar module descent engine for once. That's cool. And then what have we got in here? I thought that's the Asterisk. The Asterisk is in there with its other side things. Right. So we're gonna use this. What was the service module engine? It's going to pull us into orbit. And then we've got the lunar descent engine there already, which I don't think I've ever used it. So that could be interesting. Right, and there we are. We are in orbit. Going to get rid of that. Now we could go for where is it? The landing guidance. I'm very tempted to just have that happen, but no, I don't think we will. So we've got 39 kilometers by 21 kilometer orbit, and I think we're ready to basically go for this. We'll use the rest of this engine up if we can, orientate and all sorts. Then we'll come in and land with this. And I think it's going to be good. So I'm going to just have a look around the orbit, decide where I want to do my burns, and then we are good to go. What I'm going to do is we're going to go around to the dark side. I want to land in the light. I think I want to land around here, ideally sort of near the facing the Earth in the light. Actually, here would be better. So if we do our burn around here, we'll do a little speedy uppy. Oh, I can't do that. We'll do a little speedy uppy, and then we'll go to there. Good. That'll take us round. Are we still getting? We still got everything we need? Actually, thinking about it. Let's have a look. We've got electric for 6 hours. Good. Right. We're going to turn ourselves to retrograde. We should have RCS on that first lower stage. Yes, we do. So this has got RCS. It's going to do our reorientate here. And then we're going to fire this to basically pull our apoapsis down to ideally to intercept. We're gonna go, you know what, all in. We're going all in on this. Right. Let's have a look. I think I'm happy with that. We're going to fire it and see. We're going to fire it in hope actually, but yeah, there we go. Let's have a look. Our apoapsis is there. We're going to fire an engine. And there we go. Oh, that was too much. Too much. Could really do with bringing that periaps up just a smidgen because there are mountains over here that I need to get up away from. So let's just burn some of the RCS that we've got on that stage because we're going to get rid of that stage anyway. at some point. And just pull ourselves up a bit. I need to not land on the dark side. You can see we're actually skimming. That went a bit more vicious. I forgot how high some of the bits on the moon actually are. So that there, that's in 15 minutes. That is very high, actually. You can see we're very close to hitting. And of course, because we're coming out at this range, is quite bad. Right, we're gonna just bring it in around like so, and we'll probably wait until we get to the other side and do a bit more burny of stuff. So I'm gonna fix the mistake I have just made, and I shall see you in but a moment. Right, after having a quick think, I have decided that we're actually going to go straight from here. So we're going to put ourselves surface velocity negative. We're going to just fire this off, and then we're just going to go for it. I've not landed using this engine before, so I don't know if it's got good thrust or not, what its throttling is like. I know I should have read up on it, but I have not. So we're just going to go for it. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of thrust until we get the engine settled. Then we're going to burn off those extra delta V. In fact, there's a bit of me going, I shouldn't. There's a bit of me going, just use this engine. And I think I want to, actually. Let's do a little bit of this. You know what we'll do? What we'll actually do is we'll fire it until it's going to impact. Then we'll turn it off. There we go. And then I will decouple it. There we are. And then we're going to fire this engine and pull ourselves away. Are we pulling away? Yeah, I think we are. That's good. Right. And then we're going to, the asterisk though, oh, sorry, no, it's the landing engine, isn't it? Okay. So let's fire it. Let's fire it. There we go. So we're actually on our way up now. So what we want to do is bring ourselves down. We've got the landing guidance on. We'll put show landing predictions. It says we're going to land in 15 minutes. I am happy with that. That is not a problem for us. The engine will run for 10. That's good. What I could do is just bring this down a bit. Bring this thrust down. There we go. So it's predicting 10 minutes to landing. Actually, then we need full thrust. It's undecided on its landing, but it's saying 10 minutes. It says 9 minutes now until landing, 9:50. And I can just look at these numbers because I know I pretty much want to have no fuel left when I land. We've got 8 minutes to landing, so we're going to have more fuel than required. That means my max thrust is going to be in play, which is nice. Right, while we're doing this, let's get the gear down. I'm having a look. I want to make sure I've got all of these. Now, some of these extended while we're on the journey. Some did not. Half of them because they were considered as stored. So the end of last episode, they wouldn't deploy. But now, because we've reloaded, because of this episode, and they've now deployed. So a little look at this. These are actually supposed to be left behind on the moon. They're supposed to provide just a little bit of electricity, just in case we've got any science equipment running. And they should hopefully look after that. I'm actually going to put the roll on. Can we fix my roll, please? That'd be really nice. I don't know if I want it that way. Are you going that way? Is that the way you go? That's really? I don't know if that's the way I would like it. We've got 4 minutes to go on that. I'm actually going to put a little bit of effort into my pitch. I want to get that time to landing up a bit because we're on 8 minutes. I'm going to put it at 20. What's happening with this? We're still falling, are we? No. We are... Let's have a look. We are still falling. So I'm going to try and just hold us... let it go a bit. But I want to start to enact a bit of a change there. Right, so we're just going to get that thing going a little bit more. We've got it now. Oh, it's finally rotated itself. Right, it takes a long time. That's one thing I have noticed, actually, as versions have gone on. MechJeb gets a lot more understanding of RP-1. It's like you're not in a hurry because it's RP-1. But it does mean things like that. Sometimes you're sort of going, I want this to happen now. Why has it not happened? And yeah. Right, we're going to take that down to 10. We're going to let ourselves go a little bit lower. We're trying to get this surface speed down right now. And we're trying to get the horizontal velocity gone. The only problem we may have is that once that happens, I don't know how low this can throttle. What we could do, we could check. So where's my... There we are. There's the thrust. It can go from 44. What's the lowest it can really manageably take without me doing anything? Okay, so I can actually go down to a thrust of 1. So actually, you know what? Yeah, we can do this. I can if our max thrust is 4, we can take ourselves so our thrust to weight is below 1. That's fine. That means we would still fall. That's good. Because we would shut off these little side engines. Of course, this is one ignition for engine, I think, the descent engine. So that's we're sort of stuck with that. Let's have a look. We are going down. We've got a long burn to go. Let's speed this up a bit and see how it goes. Right, we're into 3 times acceleration. We've got about 3 minutes to the landing. I'm going to put a little bit more angle on this just to give us a bit more lift. Try and keep this around 3 minutes until we catch up with it with our delta V. You can see we're at 900 meters per second. We're going to need a little bit more of this all the time. And what we're actually doing is, this is not relative to the horizon, it's relative to this. So as we slow down, we're actually going to go more and more vertical until we're overly vertical. Right. So you can see now our time to landing is going up. I don't really want it to go up because that suggests that I am going up. Let's have a look. I'll take it down to there, yeah. 2 minutes is not bad, actually. In fact, yeah, I'm going to drop the speed down. 2 minutes to go. Thrust weight on this is not bad. I think I'm happy with this now. I think on full thrust we're actually coming in. This is a nice region, I think, unless we land there, which is probably where we're going to land looking at what we're doing. But yeah, that's not terrible. Right, I'm going to zero this actually completely. Let's do this. Let's just do it. Let's get this zeroed. Let's get some speed out of this. So we're now down to 300, landing in 2 minutes 20. Okay. We've got fuel for 3 minutes 40. I can always throttle back. Once we get to below 100 meters per second, we're going to really throttle the engines back, I think. Really understand what we're doing. Yeah, you can see we're starting to tilt now. So we're probably going to come down right in the middle of that big crater there, which is not where I wanted to do. I wouldn't even mind if we're on the edge here. Down here would be nice. I think we're going to be about here. We are coming in from a long way up. So yeah, just be aware of that. I'm going to force the pitch a little bit. Actually, the other way. I want to try and force that out a bit. There we go. Right. That's good. That's nice. I like that. That's a nice, fun thing to do. And then zero that. And then pull this right down to almost off. There we go. So we're now going to let it fall a bit. And we can I? Yeah, I can. So we are actually doing this. Right. Next step. I need to shut these off, which is going to be interesting because I'm going to have to do that and then that. There we go. Right, that's going to let us fall a bit better. We have got a long way to fall though, and this engine is not the easiest in the world to deal with. That's that and that, that and that. So we're going to, and that. Hello, whoa, shut down. Thank you. Right, we're now falling a little bit more, so we know we can throttle down if need be. I can just let it fall a bit though. We know we can make up a lot of this if we need to. Oh, actually, how low are we? Oh, we are actually lower than I thought we are. Okay, right, and we are on time warp. There we go. We've got 2 minutes of holding. This is not a good landing. Okay, do not use this as an example of a good landing. It is not. We're falling about 100 meters per second. So I'm going to start ramping this up because I want to slow that down. There we go. So that's going to slow us down a bit. Time to landing, 51 seconds. That's okay. I'm going to just let that go a bit. There we go. Just hold it on there. So we've got 51 seconds. We've got enough fuel to not worry about that. We know we can pull it off at the end there. How quickly does this go down? Okay, it goes down reasonably quickly, so I'm going to just let it do this. Right. This is not the most efficient way of landing. We've got 40 seconds to go. We've got 140 in the tank. Right. This is good. Now, of course, we're not using this stage again, so wasting the fuel, not a big issue here. You can see our thruster weight is really quite intense. It's a big one. We can go down to about 20%, 25%, so we are able to continue to drop even with the engine running at the moment. I don't want to take it down to zero because that is a problem. I don't want it to turn off once it's started. We're going to start to slow down probably soon. I think probably here is good. Yeah, let's bring it down a lot in fact. There we go. Right, why have we got a rotation? What is that rotation from? What is that rotation from? Wow. Whoa. Oh, too much. I was too busy focused on the rotation, and now we've We've messed it up. We've got 35 seconds. So why are we rotating? Why are we rotating? I don't really care about the rotation. Okay, I don't really care about it. Just keep it still, please. Okay, that's all I care about right now. We are coming down. It's not the flattest place in the world. Oh, well, out of the world, I suppose, technically would be the phrase. We're coming down at 20 meters per second. We will throttle that a little bit. I want to start getting control of our speed a little bit. We've got a fair bit of time left on these engines. We're not too worried about that. We're going to take it down. So we're going to go for, we've got 20 seconds to landing. It's going up. It's going up. That's not a massive positive for me. We're going to take it down, hold it at 10. Hold it at 10. So that's 50 seconds according to us. We've got over 50 seconds of fuel. We can actually let it go lower. We can let it speed up a bit. Let's keep going. Right, now we want to start thinking about, do we want to start slowing down? Yeah, we do. We got 15 seconds to landing. We're going to pull this down a bit and then just let it sit. 7 meters per second is fast. I don't want to go down at 7 meters per second. I'd like to go down at what, 3? 3 would be enough. 2 would be lovely. 1 would be perfect. But we don't have time for that because we're far too high up. We've actually slowed down too soon. I don't know what the burn time on this engine is. I'm now concerned about that. We're just doing the hovery thing, right? We're going to just hold this where it is. So we've done a few little practices there. We're going to pull this in, get it down a bit. 90, 80, 70, 4 meters per second coming down. 50, a little bit more, pull it down. Come on, we can start to just slow it down ever so slightly. Get ready for contact and engines off in 3, 2, 1. Contact, engines off. Everything's down and we are down. We are down. We are on the surface. Right. Oof. Get rid of the landing guidance. Get this down here. We are down upon the surface. Well, that's good, isn't it? Not the worst landing in the world, not the best. We're down, so that's a positive. Now you can see we've got, this is the upper stage there. It has an asterisk. I am concerned about that big time. It does have auxiliary engines. I can't remember if they're set up correctly, and they will not get us off the surface. So if the asterisk fails, we have a big problem. Right, let's have a look. What do we need for the landing on the moon? We didn't take it. I didn't take the mission for landing on the moon. I can't believe it. You are kidding me. Right, we're going to have to do this twice. Well, I suppose we've got another version of this craft, so yeah, it's okay. Right, I knew there was something we forgot to do. Let's go all the way back to the beginning and start again. Let's do a surface scan. Let's do that. Can we get this stuff done? There we go. We're going to gather some data. It's going to be lovely. Right, what are we looking at for data on this one? Have we got surface? Have we got everything running? Have we got what's actually going? Data, auto, right? Everything is. Can I turn on other stuff? I can't. Have we got any other sample equipment that we can run? Pressure scanner. You've been stopped. Let's run you for no apparent reason other than you exist. Right. Oh, we're getting loads of samples. We're getting loads of sample data. Right, so surface sample is actually collecting. We have got some mass from the surface sample. Let's have a look at the info. So what do we need? Can you get all of it in one go is my question? All right, yeah, it looks like you probably can. It's just a matter of time, isn't it? That will add mass up here. Now, can I? Let's have a look. I should be able to transfer stuff here. We can transfer data. I thought we had the ability to transfer a sample. That is of a concern to me. We should have the ability to transfer the sample. Flag the file for analysis in a laboratory. No, I don't need to. So let's have a look. I really don't want to have to put the sample thing on the top of the craft because that just seems silly to me. But we will have a look. What's the data that's in there? You have, oh, it's saying that it's got the sample there. 6 slots available. Oh, we are moving. Interesting. Interesting feet, actually, looking at them. What? They do actually look as though they're upside down. Right, you know what? Where's the button for remove from symmetry? There we go. Right. Now can I? No, it just keeps turning over. Really? Okay. Can I lock the suspension? Can I lock all of the suspension? There we go. Can we just do that? Will that help? Will it stop moving? This is one thing I have noticed with RP-1, and it might just be this install or this version. I do think I had it with the British one as well, but that was 1.8. This is 1.10. It's a bit old now. Yeah, you get a lot of roll across surfaces when there's any sort of slope, and I'm not sure the best way to deal with it. Landing legs don't seem to be good for it. Right, so I'm going to leave this on the surface now. Let's actually have a look. Has it got power forever? It's got power forever. Wonderful. It's got data that it's just trying to gather. We've got that. That's showing me where it is. That's nice. I like that. So has this got any? So this actually has data in it, does it? So data. So transfer data here. There we go. So if I highlight that, it actually shows me where it all is. It's all in this top compartment. That's good. I like that. Okay. I'd love it to be a bit clearer on things like that, but you cannot complain. So what will actually happen is when we come to depart, we're going to activate the RCS here. We will then decouple and fire all these things in one go. You can see the RCS here it's got RCS in here, and then there's a gap around this. This structure technically should have some little attachment points that will blow off, but you can't really do that easily. So then this stage here will take us to orbit, and then hopefully it will, as long as the engine works, take us back to Earth is the plan. Now, I don't know if ascent guidance works on the moon, but I think we should give it a go. So we will see. Right, I'm going to let this run, and actually, how long is this going to run for, I suppose, is the question. We've got 90 days on the mass spec, 25 on that. So we could leave this for a while. Let's leave this for a while, go and have a look at some contracts and stuff, and see what's going on. Well, there is a large cloud over the Space Center at the moment, and some stuff down here that it's in the center of the Earth, I think it looks like it. Anyway, let's have a look. We've got some upgrade points. We've got one upgrade point. We'll put it into our VAB because might as well. Let me just show you what we've got in the VAB. We've got a load of cats and dogs. Yep, they're not particularly useful at the moment, but we'll produce them because they might be. We've got the Leela there as well. We have the egress and a dog there that you don't know what the egress is, but I do, and we're gonna try that. And that again, both of those they're on craft. Well, you've seen them. You've seen the craft. So let's have a look at missions that we've got available. We actually have orbital science from Mars. I should have taken that because we've got this communication system. We've got those landers. They've all got science. Well, they've got science equipment on them. We could have forced them to run an experiment, and it would have given us 500,000. So it would have paid for them and then some. So that's a bit of a silly maneuver. We do have the same for Venus, so we might go back to Venus, possibly with the equipment that we've got on this moon lander, because that's the most up-to-date setup we've got. We've got rovers and things like that to look at. Let's have a look. Weather satellite. We've never really got into that, have we? We need to have a look at that. We have first crewed lunar orbit. When's that for? I need to take that at some point. We got lunar landing uncrewed. Well, we just did that. We can do 4 of them, and it covers the cost. So we're going to have that. What else have we got? What else have we got active? We don't have a return, do we? We don't have a lunar return mission, sample return or anything like that. We've got a sample return for Phobos, but we don't have a lunar sample return. Oh, we do. We do have one. There it is. Upon return, do that. Oh, now. Doesn't say it's a new craft. Where's the new craft? There's no new craft mentioned, is there? Right. There we go. Gather science. Return some. If not, do not transmit. Do not only transmit. Okay. So destination moon, situation landed, experiment any, recovery. Well, you know what? We're going to take that. That might work actually. Lunar rover, I am going to avoid like the plague, just because I will. And then that leaves us with the flybys of these planets and moons. We've got Titan, I think we're about to do. Iapetus is not going to happen. We've got Vesta, Ceres, and then we've got Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. We've got 2 of those planned. Pluto I'm not looking at. I I don't run a series long enough to go to Pluto. In fact, I don't think I've had a flyby on a series that goes past Uranus and Neptune. We might have it on this one. I don't know. Which then leaves us with the landing missions. And I actually wonder whether we can do a Titan atmosphere and a Titan landing. It's not too far away. Landing should be possible. It's got thick atmosphere. So I don't know. We could give it a go. We could give it a go. It's a possibility. I could knock something together for that maybe. So tell me, comment down below, what would you like to see in that? That gives us 15 years. We could, do you have to launch it? So we'd have to take it before we launched it. That's a little bit cheeky actually. A Titan mission that you have to take before launching. So we'd have to have 2 of those. So let's see if we can throw something together maybe. I thought I'd show you the situation with tech. We have a lot of tech backed up to be researched here. We've got so much of it. I mean, some of these solids we don't need to do. We've got exploration science and stuff like that. We could move these on all these up. Massive scale communication. I sort of want to move up because we are going to need communication. We are always going to need communication of some sort. So I think maybe we just push that up there. And try and get it done as quickly as possible, because of course we are, as there was comments previously when I was talking about the signal to the Uranus craft not being there, it might be from our side. That's the problem. If I put a bigger transmitter in there, it might, on Earth, it might actually send a signal. So that's the hope. That's just, wow, it takes it shows you how much tech we've actually got being researched, and it's not going slowly either. I mean, we're looking at, 30 days, 50 days, 40 days, 40, it's not a lot of time that we're spending on it, but it just, there we go, large scale, So we've got large scale communications there. So how far can we move these up? Can we go, I don't want to, let's move the space planes down. Move that up, that can't go any higher, so that needs to go there, that needs to go there, that needs to go there. That can go up, that can go up, that can go up. We don't need any more stuff for round Earth at the moment, so I'm just going to go for give me as much communication power as possible. There we go. So we've got the electronics, then that electronics, and that's a core set, and that should finish before our next set of missions actually. So what have we got coming up? That is the good question. We have Mercury in 150 days. Can I put a craft together for Mercury? Probably not. What's the delta V requirement? Let's have a look. Do I have a, I don't have a, I do have a thing marked. Okay. So we're looking at, not great. It's 7,000 to get there, 6,000 to actually capture. Insertion is 6,000 there. See, that's the one I want to go for. Let's see if we can put something together for that. But alternatively, let's have a look. Do we have anything Jupiter related? Earth to Jupiter. That's not for another. That's like 5 years away. I don't want to go 5 years from now. Let's see. When's the next Jupiter window? Let's go Earth to Jupiter. Is it Jupiter I want or Saturn? I'll think about it. We'll actually have a look at those. When is the Saturn one? Do I have Jupiter and Saturn? I have Saturn there. Right, let me have a think about this. Right, we have a long-term Saturn flight that will, let's just have a look at it. It will cost us 7,500 meters per second to get there. And it should get there by 1990. So it's an 11-year flight. So we might try and put something there. Then we could send something to Titan potentially. To remind you though, the Saturn orbital science, you need to use to launch a new vessel, and it's got to be before 92. So we'd have to take it just in a year's time, just before it does it. And then for the Titan lander, let's actually have a look. Where's the Titan lander? Because we could potentially go for that. Titan atmospheric probe. It's anytime. That's fine. We could do that. We could go for the Titan lander though, which is, where is it? There it is. We're looking at, it would again have to be before 92. So you have to have a transit time that is that is not the really, really long ones, which is fine because this range here is actually quite cheap, quite a slow transit time, but you have to get it right. So yeah, that's taken us to, yeah. So I think we're going to look at maybe a Titan mission and maybe a Mercury mission. We have 150 days for Mercury. I'm not sure we could get it built in time. However, our second Mercury window is a nice one in a year and a half. So let's see if we can knock something up, I think. Right, I have come up with two designs, and I'm calling them the Metal Craft. We've got Metal 1, that's, I can't remember what the acronym is, but it's basically Mercury experimental orbital science thing. I like the idea of them calling them metal, okay? So this is the first one. We've got a little central probe, which is very similar to the body that we've used for some of the stuff for to do with the moon. We've just adapted it. We've put a couple of solar panels on the side there because, of course, we can use solar power when we're around Mercury. We've got some RCS there. We've got some detachable side pods there that are integral structure. We're going to drop off partway through because they're going to provide some of the fuel to start with. They're going to provide about 2,000 meters per second delta V. Then it's going to cut off. Our engine in the center here is just a 2K thruster, 2-3K thruster. We're running on MMH and MONV 10, so that's going to be nice. So that's Metal 1. And this is Metal 2, and you can actually see Metal 2. I've gone for a different design, quite a significantly different design. So we've got, this is the transfer stage, obviously. Doesn't give me a huge amount of delta V, which is a concern. This is a heavier craft than the Metal 1, but I just like it. I like it because when I actually unfurl all of these, I just think it looks cool. It's full of science, absolutely full to the gunnels with science. It's got a little engine there, which is the R4D engine. It is pressure fed. It's a very nice engine. I think something like it was used on a Titan mission, or it's going to be, I don't know. Something's going to be, it's proposed for something. So yeah, this is the alternative. So I think if I put them into inside craft, let's see what that does for them. All right, so you can see here we've put it inside the Javelin 75. It is a big craft, and if I pop this, you can see what's actually inside it. Let's pop the fairing. You can see we've got the same transfer stage. It's just plopped on the top there. We might have a trouble with electricity, but this thing will have to do all of its own working once the departure burn's been done. So we'll just leave it. You can see this stage is giving me 8,800 though. That is a big amount. We've got about 6 and a bit thousand off of this. This should be able to get into orbit. It might not be, but this is definitely going to get it there without another stage on it. So that's one of them. Let's look at the other. And here we are with the next one, which is, again, it's on the Javelin 75 because, you know, 75 tons is what we do. We aim for 75 tons now. And inside, you can see it fits perfectly. It literally just fits inside the fairing. So I think we're going to launch or start building one of each of those because this is 121 days. The other one's actually fewer days. We can actually get them in the window, I think. Let's just check. We've got 150 days. So even if they don't make it to capture, we can get a flyby of Mercury. We can get some more science out of it, and potentially we could get a capture if we're lucky. I'm going to have a look at the contract, see when it needs to be completed by, because that second window is prettier, and at least we'll be testing these craft out, and you can run another set of flights there. So while I go and do that, I think we're going to call it a day on this one. So from me, until next time, when we probably try and land on the moon again, and might send some crew to the moon, and we might send some crew and something else to the moon. Have a great one.